Welcome back everyone for another Clash of Clans tutorial. In this video I'll be addressing the Barch army composition and some very interesting ways to utilize it. First of all, let me emphasize that this is strictly a farming tutorial, meaning I will not be showing you ways to 3-star bases using barbarians and archers, but instead I will show you how to raid mountains of gold and elixir very fast and without much effort. I will also be showing you how to snipe the Townhall and the dark storage with the help of Barch. Additionally, I'll be talking a little bit about base identification, what to look for, what to watch out for, and also how to spot easily accessible loot, which I think is one of the most important parts of barching. So the fundamentals of Barch are that the barbarians will be sent out first and act as tanks, distracting defenses and provide a little bit of damage, while the archers are then deployed behind and will be well protected from any kind of splash damage from mortars and wizard towers and any other defenses. Let's have a quick look at the army composition. I pretty much use the same composition for all these attacks. Because it's so versatile, I rarely have to change it, except for maybe the clan castle troops, really only depending on who's online in the clan and what kind of troops are available for donation at the moment. I use 60 barbarians, 140 archers, 3 heal spells, 1 poison spell, and in the clan castle I either have 5 miners or 3 Valkyries and an extra poison spell. And the poison spells are just there to help out with the occasional clan castle troops or if the heroes are interfering with our attack. The clan castle troops and the barbarian king will be serving 2 purposes in these attacks. In most cases we'll be looking for at least semi-inactive bases, where the players haven't been online for more than a couple of hours and their collectors and mines are filled up with loot and placed around the perimeter of the base. Let's say we've used up the entire Barch army, and when they're done there's a mine or collector left that hasn't gone down. Then we send out the barbarian king or the clan castle troops, depending on if it's worth it, and get that last bit of loot. In other words, they kind of serve as a backup in the main attack. The second and far more interesting purpose of these clan castle troops is to use them to snipe the town hall and the dark storage. As you can see here in my attack log, I look for bases with above 2000 dark elixir and use the barch to help create a funnel for the snipe. But I'll be getting more into that later in the video. So before we begin, I would like to address the elephant in the room. You guys might be saying, come on Benji, you're using maxed out miners and Valkyries. I can't get that. Don't worry, it's not needed. You'll do just fine with average level troops. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into the replays and see how we're going to make our storages burst. So first up, I want to show you the typical base you're going to look for. This base has a lot of available loot, and if you take a close look at the storages, you'll notice that they look completely empty, which is what we want, because that tells us that all the available loot are inside the mines and the collectors and the drills. Now unfortunately the drills in this particular base are placed very far in and I most likely won't be reaching them. Anyway, starting the attack, I place a few archers just to clear the army camps because there aren't any defenses protecting them. And in general, at the start of the attack, you want to have a quick look around the base if there are any buildings you can reach with your archers and take them out prior to the attack because it's worth the trade. For the main attack, I'll either start from the top of the base or the bottom of the base, with 50% of the barbarians using 2 fingers deploying simultaneously towards the sides as evenly spread out as possible, and then the same thing with the archers behind them. Always keeping an eye on my available troops, making sure I use half of them for the top side. And then without any delay, I do the exact same thing from the bottom. This is the most common type of deployment that you'll be using, simply because it works on almost every type of base. And more often than not, this deploying style will bring down at least 50% of the base. Though in this base it didn't, but then again this guy has max Townhall 8 defenses, and the shape of the base also helps protecting it a little bit. Also, notice there's still a mine and a collector that wasn't fully destroyed. and I could have used my Barbarian King and the Clan Castle troops to take them down, but frankly it's not worth it, because looking at the remaining available loot, it's not much at all comparing to what we've got from the raid. This second replay shows a base with similar properties. Again, you have a massive amount of loot, yet the storages seem to contain very little. Though here I noticed that there is a big section on the right side of the base without any resource buildings. So I decided to avoid that area and focus all the troops where the resources are, sacrificing the 50% star. You'll see here I use a different type of deployment style, but still using 2 fingers to get the troops down as fast as possible. As always, barbarians first and then archers behind them. And before I forget to mention the trophy range, you want to stay between 1000 and 1800 trophies to find as many inactive bases as possible. Typically I stay in the middle somewhere, and when I gain too many trophies I simply use my Barbarian King to enter and cancel attacks, pushing myself down again. So yet again I didn't reach the last Dark Elixir drill, and I'm sitting here thinking whether I should deploy my miners or not, but I end up doing that because I knew it would give me some 400 additional Dark Elixir and maybe one of the other storages. Also, they will get me the 50% star, and that's some extra bonus loot. And guys, let's not forget, these attacks are mainly for getting gold and elixir. The Dark Elixir is really just a bonus here, because within this army composition we are in fact carrying a special weapon designed to snipe the Townhall and the Dark Storage for whenever we find a base with above 2000 Dark Elixir. Which brings us to these next set of replays, where I did find bases containing more than 2000 Dark Elixir. I'll be showing you one using miners and one using Valkyries. First up, we'll have a look at the miner snipe. This base is perfect. Notice how the Townhall and the Dark Storage are very close together in the center. The first thing I'll do is to look where the dark drills are, which will determine from what side I will enter the base. In doing so, I'll make sure to destroy the drills in the process and maximize the dark loot. Due to the dark drill position, I will be entering from the north. The idea here will be to make my miners walk from the very north point of the base and all the way down to the core, but in order to accomplish this, I will have to create a funnel, and that's what the barch is for. To create the funnel, I will deploy the barch in a V formation, making sure I leave a path down the middle for the miners to follow. Basically, I will overwhelm the base on both sides of the path, and once the buildings are starting to clear up and a path towards the core is emerging, I will deploy the miners. Beginning with a few archers, just to clear out the builder huts. And then I will be deploying the V formation in waves on the sides, with 2 fingers again, barbarians first and then archers behind them. And I'll be using my king to help out with killing their king. And another wave with barbarians and archers behind them again. And now that the buildings are starting to clear up on the sides, the miners come in. And you see that they're heading straight for the center here, while the barch is still helping out from the sides. So you want to keep a close eye on their health, the miners. And as soon as they start dropping in health, you drop a heal, and keeping them alive. They will work fairly slow, but they do get the job done. I drop another heal spell here to make sure that they get all the dark elixir. But after that, when I've gotten every last drop, I figured I'll save the last heal spell and just let the miners die. So that's how you snipe the Townhall and Dark Storage using a Clan Castle with miners and Barch to create the funnel. Moving on, to the Valkyrie version of the Snipe. Here's a similar situation where the Townhall and the dark storage yet again are in the core and close together. Looking at where the dark drills are, I quickly decide to enter from the same side as the raid with the miners, from the north. Again, I'll be deploying a V formation of the barch, with the barbarians first and the archers behind. And this time I will be deploying a wave further down as well, because I want to clear these two sides so that the Valkyries don't actually get funneled towards the center. So we're dropping the Valkyries, and unfortunately one of my Valkyries went sky high. So I only have 2 left. But the good thing about Valkyries is that they hit a lot harder than the miners, but they have to stay alive. And so I dropped the first heal spell because one of the Valkyries was getting a bit low on health. And you can see that the funnel has really been successful. So really all that's left here is for the Valks to enter the core. And now they have the Barbarian King with them as well, helping out. So a last heal spell to just make sure that they get what they came for. And that's it. That's all the Dark Elixir. Sometimes a few drops of Dark Elixir will be hiding in the clan castle, so might as well destroy that too while you're at it. When you manage to master these barch attack strategies, you'll be pretty much set throughout all of Townhall 7, Townhall 8, and even Townhall 9 as far as farming goes. In my opinion, this barching skill is something that every clasher should have in their arsenal. Alright guys, I'll be wrapping it up here. I hope you found the tutorial interesting and informative. And of course, if you have any further questions, go ahead and ask them in the comment section and I'll do my best to help you out. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.